What is up, everyone? This is the Twice Over Film Club, and I'm your host, Faraz. Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. With that in mind, we thought it would make sense to do a family drama, so today we're going to be previewing The Wild Pear Tree. Of course, it's available to rent on all major video on-demand services, but if you're a student or have a public library card, you can stream it for free on Canopy. That's Kanopy. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast wherever you're listening, and if you can, please leave us a rating. Alright, for this, it's me with Fahad and Farhan. Farhan, what's up, guys?
What's
Come
up?
on, man.
We're doing this obscure foreign movie called The Wild Pear Tree. It's directed by this Turkish guy, whose name I'm probably going to butcher, so I won't pronounce it. But he's
right?
no, it's who's the new Turkish NBA guy who's really in the news these days?
CD Osman or Enes Kanter?
Enes Kanter, yeah. He somehow got
He's
back
not
into
new?
Turkey.
Well, he's not new, but he's very much in the news because he's
Yeah.
super
Is he?
outspoken.
Oh yeah, he
Oh.
He posted something about the Uyghurs like yesterday.
Not
or
just
today
that.
or something.
Today he posted something about Nike and their
Yeah,
slave
he called them
camps.
out. He's
And
like,
he tagged LeBron James. He's like,
and
what are you gonna do
the
about it?
owner of Nike, Phil Knight.
Phil Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's very outspoken. Anyway, he has like arrest warrants out for him in Turkey, so he can't go back to Turkey, unfortunately.
And his Cantor does?
Yeah, he's very critical of
Dang.
the regime right now. The government.
Man.
Yeah, but this
Anyway.
movie, The Wild
This
Pear
movie.
Tree,
Yes.
Who stars Mehmet Okur, by the way.
It is, it's directed by here. I'm gonna give his name a try. Nuri Bilge Ceylan.
yeah,
Cool.
I would have gone with that pronunciation too.
I think the middle name I'm
Ceylan or
butchering.
Ceylan? Ceylan?
Ceylan, just
Ceylan.
because I don't know.
Alright.
It's probably Saline or something, you know?
That sounds way too lazy. But anyways, yeah, he's got a few really good movies under his belt. Once Upon a Time in Anatolia,
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Winter Sleep. He's done another
I've
one
heard of
about
that one.
I've heard of Three Monkeys as well. So here's the thing. This is my first watch with this director. I've never seen any of his movies. I've heard of Three Monkeys and Once Upon a Time in Anatolia. Those are the other two I've heard of. I feel like I did know about The Wild Pear Tree because it's pretty recent, right? This is 2018.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't win anything, at least not in the United States, I don't believe.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm looking at the page
heard of it.
of any... Looks like it won some awards in like Turkey and in Asia in general, but unfortunately for us here in the West, in the United States, and Europe.
You know, the thing is that for foreign movies to win awards here, this is not the format. It's not going to be a 3-hour movie that's all dialogue.
Definitely.
And
yeah.
it's just I'm not surprised that this is not winning any awards here. Be it a good movie or not. For it to be a foreign movie, it has to be like, I don't want to say flashy, but it's got to
have some pizzazz,
somewhat palatable to an American audience
time
who's
actor
not.
or something. Sure.
Yeah, there's got to be not even a big time actor necessarily,
So
but
You know, they say about foreign movies, the distinction that they draw between American movies and French movies especially, is that American movies are about plot and French movies are about people. And I think this movie falls very much into the about people category.
yeah.
And
Interesting.
yeah, the whole movie is about dialogues. If you told me the plot and spoiled it, it wouldn't matter because... You know, the enjoyment of the movie doesn't come from the plot or how the plot unfolds. It's the conversations.
Right. Yeah. So I'm curious as to why you is there a reason? If there's not, that's cool too, that you recommended this particular movie for me to watch.
Because I wanted to do something different in the foreign realm. And I watched Once Upon a Time in Anatolia and I liked it. And it was completely different than anything we've done so far. And this presented another chance to watch another one of his movies.
For all three of us, this was our first time watching it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you hadn't watched it yet
Nope.
when you had recommended it. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Just familiar with the director.
Cool.
Okay. Did we do it before together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
So it feels
Interesting.
very much like that, right? Just conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot of that same feel.
You know,
Definitely did.
one other movie that drew comparisons, it was Lady Bird. I don't know if you've seen it. Saoirse
I've
Ronan.
seen it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
a girl who's she's in her late teens. She's got a lot of like
And a
teenage
relationship
angst.
with her mom.
Well, high
teenage
schoolers.
angst. She wants to escape Sacramento. She has some sort of disdain towards it, and she has this artistic side of her where she expresses her distaste for Sacramento and stuff, and she writes about it.
When did
In-
Lady Bird come out? Is it the same year? I feel like it is.
Um,
I'm looking it up.
yeah.
2018.
2017.
Maybe.
So it came out like a year before that, before
Yeah.
The Wild Pear Tree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have both seen it?
Yep.
Long time ago when it came out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I totally get the comparison. It makes sense. So
Subject matter wise, yeah.
subject matter wise, yes, and
I don't remember enough of the movie to say anything beyond that, but
I mean, I feel like it was definitely a lot more comedy. Not to say that this movie
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
have
Yeah.
comedy. It has like a element of it for like some comic relief, particularly with Sinan's father Idris.
Yeah.
In any case, before we get into like the actual story and
Specifics. Yeah.
yeah, let's just go over our scores. For the narrative, I gave this an 80.
I gave it a 65.
I'm with you. 65.
For the writing, I gave it a 60.
I gave it a 90.
Interesting. 60 for us. I'm with the 90.
Wow. Okay. Acting, I give it an 85.
I went with an 85 as well.
85.
All right. The intangibles slash themes, now just intangibles, is a 90 from me.
It's 85 for me.
70.
All right, and then for the aesthetics, I give it an 85.
I gave it an 80.
75.
All right, interesting. Okay, even in the non-spoiler section right now, I kind of want to just talk about this. You guys gave the writing a pretty high score without getting into any specifics like about the story.
Uh-huh.
Even though it's a foreign language film and you're relying heavily on like very wordy
On the
subtitles,
right.
you still felt
I didn't have
compelled
a
that it's
problem
well
keeping up
written?
with it. Yeah. I didn't have a problem
Really?
keeping up with it, and I felt that the dialogue it had a sense of realism. It wasn't like who's that overly talkative writer? It's not in that vein.
Like Tarantino?
No, I was thinking of
not
all those
Tarantino.
political dramas. That guy.
Oh,
Social
Sorkin,
Network.
Sorkin.
Yeah. I hate
Yeah.
Sorkin's unrealistic dialogue. This was
Yeah.
like very subdued, but also
Like
there was a lot of
natural.
natural, and there was
Yeah.
still a lot of subtext to it. And I wish
Yeah.
I could rewatch and reread a lot of the dialogue because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of meat to it, and it's not pretentious at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I can understand why Faraz just laughed at the pretentious part.
You thought it was
But-
Faraz?
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. It was, but I think that they did it
Yeah.
well. Like, I don't think that they did it pretentious for the sake of like trying to seem smart. The character himself was,
Oh
but
yeah.
I don't think that the other people
Yeah, the nature of the
were,
character
like,
was very much like
pretentious.
a dick. He's
yeah, absolutely, right?
he's a critic of everything, right? He's a misanthrope,
Yeah.
so he finds flaws with everything, and so he's naturally gonna I don't
Like us
know,
the
pick
wrong way.
apart, pick
Yeah.
apart anyone's words and stuff like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
the reason I went kind of lower is just because I had to pause and like just like go back 10 seconds and just like rewatch it because, you know, I just missed like a word or two
Yeah.
here. And I'm like very particular when it comes to like subtitles, especially with foreign language if I miss something. I mean, it's not like I didn't miss anything in the story. I didn't it's not like I didn't understand what was happening or what was going on or the topic of conversation. But like the very specific words here and there, when I was missing it, I got pretty annoyed and I felt it was quite wordy. So I just went, I mean, like I didn't go too low. I just went barely below average or just under average. Yeah, only because I felt like if it even was a English language movie and it was that wordy, I would have also probably knocked it down a little bit for the writing.
I think we would have
I
kept
don't know.
up a little bit easier with the
Yeah,
dialogue.
maybe.
With
Maybe
if it was
because the thing
English.
is, I don't know. Like we all have at least we speak some other languages. We understand how when you translate something that was like 5 words in its native language, you translate it and it's like 15 words or something or like 10 words. So like
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
becomes more wordy reading it. But when they're actually talking, maybe it really was natural and not as wordy as it felt.
I can get what you're saying. If you had times where it was so wordy that it pulled you out, I can understand that score.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way personally, but
Okay, so we can see why Fahad recommended this film. Because of like he clearly likes his director. His tally comes out to an 86. Mine's at a 72, and Farhan's at a 78. Well, and like if we go through our scores, we all thought the acting was strong at 85.
Right. I didn't get Farhan's theme score because it was fairly low.
Farhan went with average for the intangibles.
Or the intangibles, right?
It's hard to like discuss that in the non spoiler section. So
sure,
you have to come back next week to listen for that. And the aesthetics we kind of all liked, but yeah, overall, Farhan, this is I think where we should say if we recommend it or not.
Yeah.
Well, I do recommend this movie. I actually like it a lot. I like this movie a lot. I don't know what it was about it that made me feel like very homely, like just felt like comfortable like watching it. Like it's nice and slow. It's not like there's nothing extravagant going on. There's no pizzazz or like flashy like Farhan was saying earlier. It's just an easy watch other than the fact that you have to read a lot because it's foreign language. Unless you're
What do you think? You recommend this movie after having watched it?
Yeah, I recommend this movie. I recommend a lot of this director's movies. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
We'll leave the preview at that. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week with the discussion. Make sure you get your watch in before then.
Thanks for listening to this production of The Twice Over. If you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing and sharing it with a friend. Want to see what your tally is? Check out thetwiceover.com. All the movies we've done are listed there, as well as what we're watching for the current week. Follow us at The Twice Over on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, where you can leave us any suggestions, feedback, or comments. And if you're about it, you can also support us on Patreon. The music you hear on this podcast is from Amerigo Gazaway. You can find his work on Bandcamp and Spotify.